Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Kurjava session. Today we are starting the topic serialization. The title name is serialization. What we are going to see is serialization, deserialization, then transient keyword, right? Customization of serialization and externalization. So this will be the topic we are going to cover. What is the topic? Serialization. Serialization. Then reverse of serialization means deserialization. Very important for interview perspective. Deserialization. Deserialization. Then we will see transient keyword. Popular interview question. What is transient keyword? So we will see here in this chapter. Okay. Then we will understand some transient keyword versus, let's say, static keyword. What is the difference? Or we can say transient keyword versus final keyword. What is the difference? Then we will do customization, customize serialization, customize serialization. Okay. Okay. Then we will see externalization. You will see externalization. Okay. Now, then one topic interview question, serial version, UUID. They will ask you serial version UUID. Okay. Those whoever attending the interview, definitely they will think whatever I am taking, everything is important. Who did not attend it, they will think what is this nonsense, right? But people who attended the interview, 5 to 10 interview, definitely they may face this question. Okay. Try to understand now. What is serialization? Now, what is serialization? The process of saving an object to a file. The process of writing or saving an object, Java object and Java object. We are learning Java, right? To a file, to a file, to a file is called what? Is called what? Serialization. Now try to observe. It's called serialization. It's called serialization. Serialization. Okay? Now, people will ask you how many way Java object will be created. Right? People will ask you how many way Java object will be created. So you have to think new keyword, right? There are 5 possible way. I told you initially, some sessions back, maybe in Hooks concept. Now, you should also think about serialization is also one process to create Java object. Why? Okay. Now I will explain you why. With the help of a program. Okay. Now. Okay. One more definition for serialization can be, we can say, converting of an object. Object means Java object, right? From Java system to other network. Okay? Other network. For example, I am writing my Java code. Okay? My code is in my server and I am transferring that Java object into some server inside file. Means over the network, na? Over the network. Try to observe. For example, this is our Java object. This is our what? Test class or ABC class, employee class or student class. Not like this. Where is this? Let's say this is employee class. This is employee class. Employee class. Employee.java.class, right? Inside the Java class, some data will be there when you are creating object, right? So think this is Java object. Okay? And there is a file which is at server, any location, right? The file name is, let's say, employee invoice, or let's say employee dot some file name txt. ठीक है? That the data, this object will travel over the network na. There will be network na inside here, right? This will be network na. This will be the network, right? Now what will happen over the network? Now what will happen over the network? This data will move, right? This data will move, right? And a new object will be data will be moved here, right? So this is nothing but serialization. But how we can achieve this? How we can achieve this? So we can achieve this using object output stream and file output stream. Object output stream and file object 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 output stream. Stream means something flow, right? River flow. That is called stream, right? Something flowing. That's why object output stream and file output stream. Object output stream and file object output stream. Now, ठीक है? Till now you are good, right? Now. Let me minimize this diagram. Zoom in, zoom out. ठीक है? Now try to observe. ठीक है. Same thing. This is one part. This is one part, right? This is one part. This is one part. Similarly, there may be chance na you are reading some file. You are reading some file. You are reading some file. You are getting the data from the file and you are creating some object, right? There may be chance, right? So here also there may be network, right? Here also there may be network. Over the network, what you are trying to, you are creating some data, some object. Again, you are getting employee.java, right? You are getting some data, but from here, right? This is nothing but network. This is nothing but network over the network, right? Now what is happening? From file, you are reading some data and converting as a Java object, right? So how you will achieve this part? Try to observe. This will be your another part, right? So this part is called serialization. Serialization. This is serialization. And this part is nothing but deserialization. Deserialization. Hope we are convinced with this diagram. How we'll achieve, we will see that. So here, what method we are using? Object from serialization object output stream and file output stream. And here, what we will use? What method we are going to use? Object input stream and file input stream. Sorry, classes. I mean to say classes, not method. Okay. These are the classes we are going to use. Okay. This combined concept we are going to use now. Let me stop my screen share for a few seconds. I'm sharing my screen again. I was checking some. Yeah. No. No. Close all this thing. You don't need this, all this thing. ठीक है. Now let me delete this part. This is main method which we required. We will see that. Okay. Now try to observe. Control Shift O. This is one class. Class can have how we can achieve this serialization. First, to serialize this, to achieve this data over the network, we should implement serialization, serializable. We should implement first implements serializable, import, perfectly fine. Control Shift H, select that and Control Shift H. Open this. What is this? It will come. It will come. It will come. No problem. If it is not coming, that is also fine. We have to implement this class interface. Okay. Now, I have some data. Let's say in object index equal to 5. Int y equal to 10. Some data is there, right? Some data is there. When I will create the object, what will be the value of x and y inside the object? 100%, 5 and 10, right? Now, if I will create the object, test, test, object is created. Object is created. Object is created. When object is created, the x and y value inside this object will be what? 5 and 10. How to format? Control Shift F. Now, system.out.println. In your project, this sysout statement you have to convert into logger statement using log4j. So serialization start. There will be five eight line of code. So I'm just writing this means it is starting. To achieve this, what is the method according to our diagram? One is object output stream and one is file output stream. Can we use that? Let me use that. File output stream. File output stream. Not coming. Output stream. This is the class FS. Let me FOS equal to new file output stream. ठीक है. Import. Control Shift O. It is expecting the path. It is expecting the path. Let me give the path. Come here. Where is my last time I created one folder? Let me delete the data from this file. Save this. I will give the path of this file. Copy this. Double quote. Path. / abc.txt. ठीक है. abc.txt. Try to observe. Now, object output stream. Next is object output stream. OOS stand for object output stream. Object output stream. ठीक है. What is it expecting? It is expecting file output stream object. Control Shift O. So what in parameter, what is expecting? Okay, save this. Oh, sorry. Where is my new? Okay, it is expecting file object output stream. Now, in object object output stream, there is one method. one method. What is the purpose of this method? See, write object, write object, write object. What is the object name? T. I want to write this object na. I want to write this object na. Okay. First let me comment this line. Okay. T dot x. Let me check system dot out dot println T dot x. What is printing? Run this program. Okay. Means x value is 5 in this object. Similarly, plus concatenate T dot y. Okay. Let's see this value is printing or not. 5 and 10 is printing means inside T Java test of. Oh, it is doing addition or what? Oh, sorry. It is addition. Doing addition. One second. Okay. I will add some double quotes and then plus. And something like this. So now addition will not happen. 5 and 10. Okay. 5 and 10 are the two values. It means inside the Java object, we have two values. Now, serialization start. Let me copy this. Serialization ends. Okay. Paste here. Ends. And comment this. Okay. Now try to observe. Let me run this program. Serialization start, serialization ends. Come to this file. Refresh this. Some data is coming, right? Some data is coming. That is fine. That is fine. No problem. We will see that because we need to convert that. No problem. We will check that. What is the data? But data is coming, right? Object is created. Object is created. Some data is that we are not able to read this. That is fine. But if you see something, package one, test class, some data is there. Okay. Means according to our this diagram, not this one. We are able to move this data, right? We are able to move this data from employee object to this file abc.txt. Okay, come here. Now we will deserialize. Can we read this file from that file and we can convert that object? So what is our next part? Let me copy this statement. Now we will use paste here. We will use deserialization start. I am giving a statement. So deserialization will start. Try to observe. Okay. Now same thing is required, right? But only thing is we need to change output to input. Here, file input stream, file input stream, file input stream. So variable name I am giving FIS, Control Shift O, fine. Here also input stream. Here also input stream. Okay? Control Shift O, OIS. Here it should be taking FIS, input stream object. Okay? Input stream object, some mistake is there. Input object input stream. Save this error bar. Okay? Now we don't need this, right? We don't need this part. Let me comment this. Let me comment this also. Let me comment this also. Now, okay? It is reading the file. It is reading the file perfectly. Okay? Now OIS, object input stream, it should read na. In above how we have write object method, we have read object, right? Read, we have to read that, right? We are reading, but tell me, it should hold the data na. Whatever the data we are creating in the file, it should map that data. So whatever we know, the same test class data is going to come. So we will typecast that test. We have to typecast like this. We have to typecast like this. Okay, now 1 second, guys. It will automatically take. Let me give the return type. OIS dot read object Alt Shift L. Okay. So let me give test. This is the test class, right? Test class. Test, and here it should typecast here test. But what is the error here? Why this error is here? Read object is fine. Ah, perfectly, no problem. There may be chance if some error will come while reading the file. Then now I am giving it as a T1 object. Okay. Now try to observe. Copy, copy this. Deserialization start. Deserialization end. Paste here. It should end. Okay. See, it is ending right now. Okay. Now debug. Debug this. Do F6. Mouse over on T1. Coming na. Coming na. Data is coming, right? Let me comment this also. Not no need to comment. See, try to observe, guys. Try to observe. What we are reading here, we are reading one file. We are giving as a out input stream. Input string is having what? Some data from that particular file. That file we are reading, and we are reading from this object, and then we are passing inside T1. T1 is holding C X and Y. T1 is holding X and Y. Let me check one thing. Stop this. Tell me, guys, what is the value of X and Y? Why I change the value? Otherwise, you will think this value is coming from this place. No. X value is 6, I change. But in the file, what is the value of previous value? X6, 5, and 10, right? That's why I make above 6, X equal to 6. But X equal to 5 is coming. It means the first time when we did serialization, this data has written to this file, abc.txt, in this path. And when we are reading that file using deserialization, to achieve serialization, we required file output stream and object output stream and write object. To do deserialization, we required file input stream from where we need to read the file, then our object input stream, and then read object. Okay, when I am doing mouse over on T1, if you see, this T1 object is holding what value? 5 and 10. Hope you are good. But in above, I intentionally make the value of X equal to 6. So that you should not get confused that whenever we are creating test class object, so that value is coming from that object. No, it is coming from 5. That's why X equal to 5 and Y equal to 10. Hope you are good. Hope you are good with this example. This is example of serialization and deserialization. Okay, 1 minute. Now, so according to this program, what we are doing, let me copy this program, copy this program, come down, paste this program, increase the font size. I'm increasing the font size, not 30, maybe 25 will work. Okay, let me give 20. ठीक है, try to observe. Why commented? This is the program, right? Now try to observe what is happening. ठीक है? Here in this T, ठीक है? Object is created. What is the value of x and y? Initially, x was x equal to 5 was there. Why this italic? Y equal to what? 10 was there. ठीक है? This value move to one file, right? Inside this file. What is the file path I am giving? This is the path of the file abc.txt. ठीक है? /abc.txt. In this file, the data is moved, right? This data is moved. The data is moved, right? The object is created, serialization done. ठीक है? Serialization done. Same data will be there, right? Okay. Serialization is done. This is serialization. ठीक है? This is serialization. Why is what is the code which is helpful for serialization? This one. This one. And these three lines are responsible for serialization. Now, same data we are able to read, right? Same data we are able to read. This is serialization. This is serialization. Now the same data we are able to read, right? This is deserialization. 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 ठीक है? Which part of code is responsible for this? This line. This line. These three lines are responsible for deserialization. Still we are getting x equal to 5 and y equal to 10. Even though I have changed here also, even though I change the value, but same output we are getting, right? Okay. Hope you are good with this explanation. Okay. Now, important to note is if we do not use this implement serialization, let me remove this. If I remove this exception, right? Not serializable. So we always have to make this serial. Whenever you are working with in any project, and that time some requirement is there where you have to move the file data to over the server, over the network. 100% you have to write this line. If you are not using this, then you will, if you don't know this serializable, then it will waste your time that day. It will give you situation that why I am not able to do this now. One concept, one more concept today. Same example I will do. I will quickly explain you what concept transient keyword in this example only. Let me run this program. Interview question. Okay, interview question. If I am implementing C level, that is fine. Now interview question. Everything is interview question in core Java. Okay. Now transient keyword. Transient keyword. What is the transient keyword? First of all, it is a modifier. It is an what? Modifier. Modifier applicable to what? Applicable to variables only. Not to method, not to class. Okay. For example, I don't want in this diagram. According to this diagram, I don't want x equal to 5 should go to this file. I don't want. I want y should go, but I don't want x should not go. I don't want. I want to use x equal to find my program. That is my requirement. X equal to 5 is my requirement. Okay. X equal to 5 is my requirement. I want in my project. But whenever I am traveling that object, I don't want this object to move into file. Hope you are understanding. In that situation, in that situation, we should use transient keyword. Okay. Now, it is a modifier. What is the point? While performing serialization, when we are doing serialization, big spelling, right? If we don't want to save some data, some part of data, not to be saved, slash or move, right? For example, your x equal to, think in this way, x is your password, y is your username. Do you think that you should share your password to anyone? In that case, your password variable should be transient. Na? Think in that way. I don't want to serialize this, right? X is your password. I don't want to serialize that. That is the situation. Na? Consider that situation. Okay, now. So when I am using this transient keyword, let me test whether this is working fine or not. Let me use this. Go here, open this file, delete this, everything, save this file. I am using transient keyword. Can I use transient here? Transient keyword. I am using one transient keyword. Okay, now try to observe. Till this, what is happening? We'll observe. Let me add debugger. Okay, no problem. I have debugger here. This will justify our example. Serialization is done. Go to F6. What is coming? X equal to 0, Y equal to 10. We did serialization now. We did serialization, but X equal to 5 did not go to this file abc.txt because I use this transient keyword. So variable is there. Variable is there. So when we are reading this variable, so variable is coming what? The default value. What is the default value of int x equal to 0? Is 5 is coming back at the time of deserialization? No. Only one word is changing, right? One word is very, very important. They will ask you in interview that how you will restrict. Everything is fine, but this one word is changing the whole picture, right? Okay. If I will use transient here, what will happen? Transient. Save this. Terminate the program. Again debug. Save this. Debug as Java application. That's what debugging is very, very, very important, guys. F6. Now, this program run serialization overridden the again over the file. So now we are reading the file. We have made both x and y as what? As transient. ठीक है? Now, transient versus static. So first of all, tell me what is static, what is non-static. Tell me, guys, serialization is applicable to objects, right? Serialization is applicable to objects. We are moving the object according to our diagram. According to our diagram, what we are moving objects. But tell me, static data is part of object or not? Think now. So static data is not part of object. So they are not participating in serialization. They are not participating in serialization. They are not participating in serialization. Remove this. Remove this. Okay? If I am using static z equal to static z equal to 20, static int z equal to 20, I am using static keyword. Debug as Java application. XY is coming. Is Z is coming? No. Tell me now, think. You can answer yourself what is static versus transient. Static are applicable to non-objects. Means if I automatically, if I am keeping this static, is it serialized? Is it serialized? If you mouse over, are you getting Z equal to 0? Z equal to 20 here? But Y, X and Y. X and Y are instance variable. So they travel over the network and move into the file. But when we are deserializing, we are not getting Z. It means static doesn't bother about whether you are doing serialization or not serialization. Static variable, static data is not going to serialize because those are not part of what object. So what is the meaning if it is already not going? So what any use of transient with static? Whether it is going to impact, because what is the purpose of transient? The purpose of transient is to stop the travel of the data. But already static is not part of object. So automatically this data is not traveling. So what is the use? No use of transient and static combination. There is no compilation error, right? But what is the purpose? No use, right? Already static data is not going to write in the file. So why we are using, right? Hope you are understanding the difference, static versus transient. Hope you are good. Now, transient versus final. Transient versus final. Let me use, copy this, X, Y, Z. Let me take a variable. But this time I am taking final and I will take this variable as a, something like this. Now, what is final according to your knowledge? Where is Zoom meeting? What is your knowledge about final? Final means it will be participated in serialization by their value. Okay? But try to observe. Final variable will participate in serialization. Okay? Okay? But final variable and this combination will work or not? Observe this. Debug as Java application. Mouse over this. A equal to 0. A equal to 0. Right? A equal to 0. One second, guys. One minute. Huh? Hope you are understanding when we are using this combination. Is this going transient? Let me remove this. Let me remove this transient. Now terminate this. Debug as Java application. Mouse over this. A equal to 20. It is going right. A equal to 20. When we are keeping the final value, it is going. But when we are using final, what transient? When I am using transient. When I am using transient. Run this program. A is 0, right? It is combination, means it is working. Transient is applicable for this, right? It is restricting. Okay. Hope you are good with this example. You can explain in your own word what is transient keyword, what is transient versus statics, what is transient versus final. Okay. 1 minute. Okay, guys, I'm stopping my screen share. I'm stopping the recording.